he's a permanent resident, but he's a permanent resident. He's dark skinned. He has an accent, and he looks like a terrorist. I mean, it's. I gotta call it what it is. You know, he's got dark hair. It's just he's good. I remember after 9/11, I would tell him, "Do not drive the company van. Do not drive the company van. They're going to stop you." I mean, it's obvious. Everybody's on high alert. I get it. And back then, that didn't bother.
Hey, you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. Today we have a special edition of Hero Spotlight. Every hero has an origin story. Every hero has their challenges. Every hero has their battles. Every hero sometimes is a pain in the ass that I've known all the way since high school. So today I have somebody who I've known probably, I don't know, I'm not good with math, but it's probably I met her in 1992. And we've kept in touch for a long time, here and there. But thanks to technology, we've reconnected through MySpace and Facebook and all those other social platforms. But she's here tonight and almost died. Almost died tonight. True story. Yeah, almost died. We brought her back to life tonight so she could bullshit with us here. So also, speaking of survivors, for the first time ever, joining us tonight, both of these women are lovely and attractive, but this one I'm about to bring on first. Baba boom, guys. Hands on camera, everybody. I would like to bring my beautiful, beautiful wife onto the first time. Hello, baby Gloria. How you doing?
Hi, Donnie.
So Gloria finally got to meet Cindy, and we were supposed to start about an hour earlier, but we all started talking to Cindy. How do you feel about Cindy so far?
I love Cindy. Cindy and I seem to be very much alike.
Crazy?
Sure.
Survivors. So all right. Speaking of crazy, there she is.
You're so funny.
Everybody, welcome my friend Cindy.
Hi, it's so nice to see everybody. And I love your wife and I love you, even though I haven't seen you in so long. I always think of you when I think about our junior prom. I think about I remember that.
Cindy, where are you now?
I'm in Connecticut. I moved to Connecticut ended up staying on Long Island. I never left Long Island until 2023. I stayed close to Glen Cove. That's where we went to high school together. So was born and raised in Glen Cove, you know that. And then we moved next door to Locust Valley. And then now 3 years ago, we're in Connecticut, which I love. It's awesome.
Well, we met each other my sophomore year. My family moved to, for those who know Cousin Nick from some of our other videos, me and Cousin Nick, we all moved out to the suburbs to Long Island, to Glen Cove City, the Golden Coast.
Yep.
That's the nickname for Glen Cove. It's called the Golden Coast.
Yep.
And we moved out there sophomore year. That's when we met each other. Mm-hmm. But you've always lived out there, right?
I've always lived in Glen Cove. Glen Cove Hospital used to have a labor and delivery unit. So I was born in Glen Cove Hospital, and they brought me home to the house that I grew up in, which my parents still have, and I lived there all my life until I got married.
Where and your mom and dad are from Glen Cove?
So no, my dad is from Puerto Rico, and my mom is from Mexico. Puerto Rico. Yep, he's Puerto Rico.
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember your dad that much, and I don't remember your dad being Puerto Rican at all.
Well, no, my dad, he was a workaholic. He was always working. Do you remember in Living Color with the Jamaicans and the Yaman, and they kept working? They worked like 20 jobs.
3 jobs, man. I have like 36. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that was my dad. He like worked all the time, so nobody ever saw him. So he was from Puerto Rico, and he met my mom. My mom came to the United States, I think, like in 65, I think. Because I know she came here when she was like 16, and the family she came here, they put her to school in Roslyn, in Long Island. And she was going to school. She was in school the day Kennedy was shot.
But she was young when she came over.
She was really young when
I remember your mom being very fluent in English.
Oh, Because when my mother came to this country, there was no Spanish TV, there was no Spanish radio, there was
Telemundo.
nothing, there was no press one for Espanol because it was a rotary phone. But anyway, that wasn't an option. So she had no choice but to learn.
Where did your mom come from?
Mexico.
Mexico. Okay.
Yep.
Do you know what part of Mexico?
Yeah, she's from a town it's a little town called Juliantla. It's in the state of Guerrero. I actually have a little shout out here, I don't know, but I have a very famous cousin.
Ooh, hold on, here we go.
Yes, he's my cousin.
El Chavo del Ocho?
No, that's not my cousin. I wish. No, he is a singer-songwriter, and his name was Juan Sebastian.
Oh, I know that name.
So, yep, John Sebastian. So his real name was Jose Manuel Figueroa, but
I know that was
I
think I got a cousin.
Oh, okay, don't we all? Okay.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. So yeah, so I grew up in Glen Cove, and then met my husband.
Okay.
Moved to Queens, and we got married right away. I actually asked him to marry me.
Did you?
I did. I proposed to him. I will admit it. Like I planned to. I had this whole other story that I told the kids, but the real story is it was one night after really good sex. I said to him, "We should just get married." And he was like, okay. And mind you, this man on our first date, he told me that he never wanted to get married. Oh. So yeah, so we ended up getting married. We only knew each other for 3 months before we moved in together.
Damn.
And that's when I moved to Queens, which I hated. I did not like Queens. I'm not a Queens girl.
Big difference. What was the difference between Glen Cove? Explain to everybody what's the difference between Glen Cove and moving to that area.
So Glen Cove. Well, I'm just going to say 2 words. 3 words? 3 words. Alternate side parking. That's the difference.
Oh my God, bro. Okay, let me explain that to everybody.
Go ahead.
So in New York City, they do street cleaning. So they have signs everywhere. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can't park here from 8 p.m. or from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon because the street cleaner comes by. And then on the other side, so all over New York, there's like a million parking signs, and and
everyone is different. It's all different all over.
And you would have to listen to the radio in New York. There was alternate parking, alternate side parking suspended today, and you'd be like, yes. How many kids do you have, Cindy?
I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids. I have my firstborn. He was a honeymoon baby because I knew I wanted to get pregnant right away.
Honeymoon baby right here.
Oh, are you? Yeah.
January 31st, October 31st.
Oh, wow. Nope. He was conceived September 30th in the house I grew up in. That's where he was conceived because I had my wedding there. So we were living on the first floor of my mother's house. And then he was born September. His due date was June 29th, but he was born July 6th. So that was our first baby boy. And then 4 years later, I wanted another one. Mind you, my husband has 2 children from his previous relationship. He was never married, but he has 2 children. They were born, they're like in their 30s.
The sex wasn't that good.
I guess not. Because he came to this country, so I don't know. But so then 4 years later, I had my second, Pablo. And then 4 years later again, I had our last one, which was our daughter, which funnily is I was praying that I wasn't going to have a girl. I did not want a girl.
Why not?
Because I knew all the shit that I did.
You were so used to the boys, weren't you? You had it down. You knew what to do. Yep.
Thank you. That's exactly it. I told my husband,
spoilers.
I know penises. I know penises. I can handle penises. I'm not sure about vaginas. And I purposely with the first 2, I found out what I was having. And with Frida, I didn't because I really felt like I was going to get depressed if I found out I was having a girl. So I didn't find out. And when she was
Frida, your mother hates you.
She knows the story. No, she knows that I did not want a girl, but
she hates you. Like and subscribe. I like you.
Oh God, that little girl gave it to me. That little girl has been PMSing from birth. So yeah, so I have 3 kids, and they're so freaking awesome. They're the most kindest humans and so smart, like way smarter than I was at their age. It's a lot of
They're
fun. It's fun.
That's good. That's good. You got a
Yeah.
good relationship with them?
I'm so fortunate that I have a great relationship with them. Like they're always on top of us. They have always, and I don't know if it's because my health issues, which we'll get into, but even before that, we've always been very close. We always been that was so important to me because I didn't have that growing up. So that was big, and I got it, and I'm so lucky. And they're such good kids. I mean, my oldest son, was my liver donor.
Wow. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yep. When I was
awesome.
diagnosed with cirrhosis, he was 16, 17. And I wasn't going to use a live donor because I was worried about the other person who was going to be donating. I didn't want them to have any issues. So
But
I
the
was
liver
waiting.
grows back, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yep. The liver grows back. So I was waiting. Again, we'll get whatever you want to talk about that. But we were waiting. And when he turned 18, the minute he turned 18, he's like, Mom, let's do it. I want to be your donor.
Oh, he's your favorite.
And
Sorry, Frida. Frida, you're Frida, you're out of the will.
I don't know. I don't know if I should say this, and I don't know if the kids are going to hear this.
I don't know. We'll
Fuck
see. It
it,
depends.
But, okay, can I curse? I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
I
I'll
tell
bleep it.
I tell each of them that they're my favorite when we're alone. So I just think of like after I'm dead and one of them says like, "Oh, Mom said I was her favorite." The other one's gonna be like, "No, she said I was her favorite." So that just makes me very happy to think about. So fucked up, I know, but that's my parenting. I like to have fun, and I think that's why you have to.
You must be doing something right because your son donated his liver to save his mom. So you must be doing something right.
Yeah, no, he saved my life. He saved my life. He's
exactly.
so awesome. Yeah,
All jokes aside, you owe them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So get him the PlayStation 5. So get him
I know. I know. Trust me. But hey, you know what? He's got swag now because when girls find out that he donated his liver to his mother, you should see how the girls go crazy about it. So he should be giving me a percentage of whatever he's getting from these girls or whatever. I don't know. I should tip him out.
He's like,
But
hey,
yeah.
you see the scar? That's my mama scar.
Yeah. He's gonna get a tattoo next to it that says "Mi Madre."
One of the reasons why I have Cindy on. Cindy has been we're friends on Facebook also, and Cindy has been very, very passionate about today's politics and what's been going on. And we like to do pop culture news here and stuff like that. And I think politics, we dabble a little bit. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's got a voice. Some of you might be wrong. Some of you might be right. But I see Cindy's post. I agree with a lot what Cindy's saying. But just to have a conversation, I would try to play devil's advocate tonight. You know what I'm saying? Not for an argument's sake. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be a one-sided conversation where I'm trying to make chaos. I'm trying to make sense out of chaos.
Right.
Even today, I got into it on Facebook. I was in a bad mood. I'm not gonna lie. I was in a bad mood. I popped my mouth off. You know what I'm saying? And I went after some MAGA people, and it wasn't just because they were MAGA. It's because just what they were representing.
Right.
People always forget I'm half Colombian and I'm half Greek. People always forget that. I have a large Colombian family. I have a large Colombian family that lives here till today. Here now.
Can I just ask you real quick, what do you consider yourself more Colombian or more Greek, or do you actually feel both?
I feel both.
Do you?
Yeah, I walk in both worlds.
I feel more Mexican, which is I find odd. I consider myself more Mexican. I don't know if it's because my mother is Mexican, so maybe you go towards more what your mother is. I don't know. But
I mean, I was fluent in Spanish growing up where I had to go to school to learn Greek. You know what I'm saying? So
oh, you fluent in Greek?
I used to be better. I used to be enough to hold a conversation. But since my dad passed, I'll be honest with you, there's nobody I talk to Greek with anymore.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
sucks. Yeah.
I think George looks Greek, but the whole family he's around every day is the Colombian side.
Inside. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But your
because we don't
Spanish
have
is
I don't have
okay.
I don't have any Greek family here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's your dad was here by himself?
My dad was the only one here. I think he had one cousin in Washington D.C. or something like that. Yeah, my dad was literally the only one here.
How did your dad end up? Can I ask? How did your dad? When did your dad come?
It's a perfect story. My dad, so my dad grew up in an island, Paros in Greece. It's a little island. It's about the size of Manhattan, 27-mile radius. My dad in Greece, you have to join the Navy. It was mandatory. So after my dad got out of the regular 2-year Navy, he joined. He was a merchant marine. So my dad traveled all the way around the world and on the ships with the cargo ships, you know. So my dad traveled all the way around the world and stuff like that. And then finally, my dad didn't want to be a fisherman. He was like, "Shit, time's coming up. I don't want to be at sea anymore. I want to go to the United States." My dad wanted to move to the States and start businesses and start, you know what I'm saying, the land of opportunity. My dad had the dream, you know what I'm saying, just like every immigrant. What he really wanted to do, he don't know, but he knew he can do it in America, not on a little island. So this is what really happened. The port was in Pennsylvania, so I don't remember which one has the port. I don't know if it's Philly or Pittsburgh. So my dad and his buddy, my dad had found and heard about some guy that's looking for painters to go paint in another state. So this is in Pennsylvania. My dad's name was Peter, and his buddy was named Peter also.
Oh, okay.
So both Peters jumped off the boat, got in a car with a stranger, and drove all the way up to New Hampshire to go paint bridges out there.
Bridges?
They knew how to paint, yeah, bridges, like all the people that get hired to do the maintenance, like the Queensboro Bridge that you see them painting. So they got hired somehow. Some guy, and that's my dad went up there. They asked my dad, "Do you know how to paint?" When you're on the boats, my dad used to hang outside on the boat painting. My dad was one of those guys when he was young that, like Tarzan, like just swing on anything.
Okay.
One of the I was never like that. I never had the
do olives have branches or they have vines? I don't know.
Anyway, my dad was like, walking on like tight ropes. That was my pop, for real. So awesome. Believe it or not, yeah. He was like,
I can see it. I remember what your dad looked like, so I can.
Yeah. So it was the sailor thing. Sailors know how to walk, so it would walk on the side of the boat. So that was my dad. I was just round, so I never had that balance like my dad did. But so they jumped ship and then went there, and then ended up in New York. And then that's how he met my mom. But yeah, so my dad jumped ship. And my dad was, I'll say it, my dad was an illegal alien.
Was he?
Yep. My dad jumped ship. And
literally he jumped ship, like.
Yeah, he got off the boat in Pennsylvania, went to New Hampshire to paint the bridges. Oh, it's like the ship took off and like, where are the two Peters? And I was like, I don't know, we got to go. And the boat left.
Oh, wow.
So back in the this had to be mid-70s. One of my uncles was a pilot for an airline, Colombian airline company.
Okay.
Your
mom's brother.
My mom's brother, yeah.
Okay.
Fernando. Yeah. So, so check this out. So Fernando flew my mom into Miami with my brother. Walked my mom off onto the car. Back in the day, you used to walk off onto the tarmac. Yeah. You walk down, then you walk out. My mom walked right outside. There was a car that was driving up to New York from Miami. And my mom got it because my mom knows how to drive. My mom always knew how to drive. So my mom, she told me, I'm like, what'd you do? Okay. And she goes, I drove. I held your brother right next to me, and I helped drive from Miami all the way with a car filled with strangers. And then she drove up to meet my aunt, Nick's mom. Then she drove up to New York to meet. Nick's mom was the first one here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so she was going up to New York to meet up Nick's mom. So Nick's mom and my mom, cousin Nick, for everybody who when I say Nick. So Nick's mom and my mom lived in the same apartment complex, and my dad lived in the basement. So every time they would have parties, they were like, invite the Greeks, llama los griegos, and that's how they all
can
met.
party because griegos can party like Latinos.
But that's how they met. That's how they all met. And
Oh, that's really cool.
my dad pulled a 90-day fiance. My dad pulled. So, okay, so long time. Let me set this up. Back in the 70s, my mom and my dad would tell me stories
Okay.
that ICE, immigration, la migra, they used to wear fedoras. They used to dress like in business suits, and they would wear fedoras, like you see detectives in the old movies.
Yeah.
And they'd be going around looking for immigrants, for illegal immigrants. Yeah, and that's what it looked like. Whenever you ever see somebody, they would know it was a government official, because back then all the government officials and they didn't wear masks, and they would go after them. My dad told me a story that he came home one time. He couldn't find Peter, the other Peter. He said that the potatoes in the oven were burning, the pan was burning, it was smoking. My dad was, what the fuck? Peter just took off. His buddy Peter took off. 3 days, didn't know where he was. And then all of a sudden, when they got in touch with him, no. Peter had his brother living in Hicksville, which is in the suburbs. Somebody rang the doorbell. Peter went and looked, saw two guys in fedoras. Peter jumped out the back window, got in the car, drove all the way out to Hicksville, stayed at his brother's house out there, and was freaked out. Yeah, wow. That's how it used to be back in the day. This is according to my aunt, my mom, and my dad, that these guys would walk around like FBI agents. They would call them FBI agents, but it was the migra, and they would wear the fedoras, and they'll be like, let me see your papers and stuff. So.
You know, my mom never, ever mentioned well, from what I understand, when my mother came here, she came here with her visa, then she went back to Mexico, and when she came back again, she got her permanent residency like at the embassy in Mexico, the American embassy back then. It was so much easier. And then she came here, and then she became an American citizen before I was born. She was already an American citizen, I think.
My parents became American citizens. It was after we moved to Glen Cove. They had residency.
Right.
They had their green cards and residency, but they became American citizens. I remember clearly when we were living we moved back to Queens, and my dad married somebody, and that's how my dad got his residency. 90-day fiance style, baby. Pew pew pew. My dad, they say,
I love that show.
Oh, we're addicted to it.
Are you? Oh, me too. Yeah. I love hot mess shows. Like, they make me so happy. That's awesome.
So my dad paid somebody, and that's how my dad got his. And once my dad's residency came in, they did the divorce, and then my dad married my mom.
That's awesome.
And then 9 months later,
you were there.
Hijito. And that's my origin story.
Now, was your mom was fluent in English, or she could speak English well, and your dad spoke English?
My dad had terrible broken English.
So
my dad had terrible broken English. My mom's English was better back in the day when she was younger, you know, a little more sharper.
Right.
Her English was better. In New York, you know, everybody, it was different back in the day. Hustle and bustle, you got to talk English. My mom ran a school. My mom ran a daycare before we moved to Glen Cove.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your mother was a hustler, yeah.
My mom ran, remember, she opened up the shop in Glen Cove right before we moved out of there. Yeah. So my mom, but my dad had his own language.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Actually, that kind of sounds like my dad, because my dad, Puerto Rican. He speaks Spanish, but he speaks so fast that even people who speak Spanish, they'll look at me and be like, ¿Qué dijo tu papá? Like, what did your dad say? Like, I remember so fast. So I remember one time there was a friend of my mother's at the house, and it was the day after my 21st birthday. And I had gotten the first time I'd ever gotten drunk on my 21st birthday with my parents and friends. And this lady was cleaning up. I was hungover in bed, And all of a sudden, my dad just came upstairs and he said something to the lady. She was Mexican. And he said something to her. I didn't hear what he said. I don't remember. And she answered like, "Sí, Don Ramon. Sí, okay, Don Ramon. Sí, sí, no hay problema. Yes, yes, Don Ramon. No problem. Okay." So he walks away and I yelled to her. I'm like, "Rosa, did you understand what my dad said to you?" And she's like, "No, I didn't." And I'm like, "He just told you to go downstairs and have sex with him. And you said yes." And she was like, "Oh," and she was an older woman. And she's like, "Oh my God."
That's funny.
It's so funny. But yeah, no, but speaking, my dad, he had like his own language. A lot of people don't understand him.
Yeah, when
I love it.
children of immigrants whose parents have heavy broken accents, we have that Spang English whatever mix. It's like, "Mami, voy a la store a comprar Blockbuster, the new movie, and después blah 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 blah." You know what's you know what's funny? You're Hispanic, Latino, whatever you call yourself, Spanish. I still say Spanish. We're Spanish, but you grew up in a white area, right?
Oh, yeah.
It would be Glenn Clove, I would say.
I had no Latino friends really. I mean, my best friend, but she was not really. She was like me. I mean, I call it whitewash. I was whitewashed. You know, I.
Is it because it wasn't pushed on you, or you just didn't care for it?
First of all, my parents were never like, I know Puerto Ricans all about Puerto Rican pride and, you know, the flags and all that stuff, which I'm not a fan of. And neither was my dad. My dad is, you know, he's Puerto Rican, but it's not like, oh, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, Boricua. That's not him. My mom is the same thing. She's Mexican, but she's not like, oh, you know, Viva Mexico and, you know, chinga tu madre. No, she's not like that. They adapted to the American way. Like having a Mexican mom and a Puerto Rican dad, I still grew up with having milk with my dinner. And I remember telling friends of mine later who were Latina and Black, and they were talking about what you drank when you would have dinner when you were younger. And they were like, oh, yeah, you know, Kool-Aid or Fanta or this or that. And I'm like, I had milk. And I remember my friend, one of the women working there, turned around. She goes, "Your mother thought she was like, what was her name from the Brady Bunch, Mrs. Brady or something? Like, what was that about? Like, Latinos don't do that, you know." But it was like milk with dinner, and my mom, you know.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you because we're Greek, we're Colombian, and then sometimes my mom will make caldo sancocho, and then sometimes, oh, what's for dinner? Un meatloaf.
Yep.
My mom would cook American meals also.
Yep.
You know.
Although my mom, it's funny, my mom growing up, she didn't cook American meals, but she didn't cook Mexican meals either. She only cooked Puerto Rican food for my dad.
Nice.
And I don't know why. I don't know if it was something, but then they ended up opening a taco stand at the flea markets. We had flea markets on Long Island or Queens. There was one in Belmont.
Yep.
Belmont, and there was another one more in Queens. Belmont and Aqueduct.
Yeah.
So
we used to go there. The whole family. We used to go there every weekend. Me and Nick.
Well, my parents had the taco stand there. We were the only Spanish food truck there. I was a flea market kid.
And this was during the time when there were no food trucks besides the guy selling hot dogs or Mr. Soft.
This was before food trucks were on trend. Mm-hmm. Like my parents were the OGs. I remember working that flea market. Like I can tell you stories. Like one lady once threw a soda in my mother's face, and my dad almost killed that woman. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so like that, my mother still cooked Puerto Rican food at home.
It's funny because the reason why I say that is because it's like you're Spanish, but you grew up in a white area. Gloria is white, but grew up in the Spanish area.
So you recognize everything, and yeah, I think that's really cool.
Gloria,
yeah, I mean, where I grew up in Washington State, it's very agriculture. So, I mean, the orchards and the hop fields and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a huge Mexican, Spanish population in that area.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't know we traveled that far north, which is smart because I never understood why I have family who lives in California. they're all legal now, but when they were first here, I'm like, why would you stay in California? Because all the time in California, ICE was rampant all the time. There's no, I mean, it's different now, obviously, but they were always around. And I never understood why they stayed in areas that was so, that you were so much in danger. But I didn't realize that we went up that north. That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, but they had ICE raids too.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. We used to hear about them all the time. They used to
make bets. They used to make bets. I'm going to get rounded up.
I'm sure.
Gloria said that's how she made her money to get to Virginia.
Oh, you make bets. I love it. I thought you meant the ICE agents. That's smart.
So I mean, the jokes would be like why there's nobody out on the streets, and it's like, oh, it must be an ICE day.
It was. I don't know if it was different back then. I don't know. Like I feel
the difference is we didn't have a president or a guy running for president calling us rapists and killers, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah,
We've always had an immigration problem. I just told you how my dad got here illegally. I am a product of birthright citizenship. My cousin's a product of birthright citizenship. You know what I'm saying? So I think the problem is we have a guy who's just non-stop making immigrants sound like every immigrant. First of all, let me ask you this. If you make an illegal left, does that make you a criminal? Like you're driving, you make it illegal left,
no,
and you get a ticket.
No.
So why are we getting called criminals for being illegal immigrants? It's frustrating, and you're trying to set it where
it's so
which
different.
I wanted to bring up. It's like the profiling. I tell people, I was like, Cindy, do you feel now, being a mom, being a Hispanic mom? You said your husband is from
El Salvador.
El Salvador, right? He was born over there, and he migrated here.
Yeah.
And his status is
he's a permanent resident.
American citizen, permanent resident.
Not, he could have become an American citizen years ago, but with all health issues between me and my son, we never got around to it, and it's expensive. And when you have medical bills to pay for, anyway, that's a total other rant. But no, he's a permanent resident. But he's a permanent resident. He's dark skinned. He has an accent, and he looks like a terrorist. I mean, it's. I gotta call it what it is. He's got beard. It's just he's good. I remember after 9/11, I would tell him, "Do not drive the company van. Do not drive the company van. They're going to stop you." I mean, it's obvious. Everybody's on high alert. I get it. And back then, that didn't bother me. If they would have confused my husband for, someone from a different country like that, that wouldn't bother me. But today, as a mom, it makes me sick to think that someone would even question me, my children, my husband. I give a little bit of a pass because he has such a thick accent, which I hope he never loses, because I love his accent. It's my favorite thing about him. But he has an accent, so I could understand if they were to stop him, which is still not right anyway. But for me and my kids, I sent my kids copies of their birth certificates to have on their phone in case they ever get stopped.
Wow.
Like, it scares me, like when Diego, my oldest, because out of my 3 children, Diego looks, I think, in my opinion, looks most Latino. He's dark skinned like his dad, and he has very Latino features. So if anyone, I think it's Diego. And my worry is this too, even with my middle one, if they were to get stopped by ICE, I don't know what they would do. Not that they would like attack them or anything, but number one, imagine to their psyche, like how they would feel mentally, like shit, embarrassed.
I mean,
amongst other people.
I am not saying this is the same thing, but we grew up watching after TV specials of kids being profiled by cops. You know what I'm saying? Dad, I was just driving in the neighborhood, or why are you driving that fancy car? You must be a thief. That's what I feel like has been done to immigrants. That's what I was saying before.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Well,
what I
it's
feel.
no different than what they're doing to the black people.
Right.
I mean, why are you in a white neighborhood? Why are you here? Now it's the immigrants.
Why are you
Now,
brown?
if you're brown,
Well,
you don't even have to
my-
be black anymore. You just have to be brown.
You know what's so funny? My dad says that when he first moved to Glen Cove, because that's where he came from. He went from Puerto Rico straight to Glen Cove. And when he went there, he said,
No wonder why you're spoiled.
he's like, the people that most people were racist towards were Italians and Puerto Ricans. They were the undesirables in the early 60s in Glen Cove.
They were,
Which I find so funny now, by the way, because Italians were very discriminated against when
Yes.
back in the day when my dad was there, and now.
So here's a little bit of history of New York. Queens, right? Back in the 1920s, and this is even in The Great Gatsby. I remember reading this in school. Queens were slums. All the Italians, all the Irish lived in Queens, and the Italian and the Irish, ooh-wee, boy, the white America hate them.
Yep.
They're lowest of the low. Go watch Blazing Saddles. They even make the joke in Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
But we won't take the Irish. They even make the joke there. And
West Side
Astoria
Story.
was,
Hello.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So
yeah, but it's so different now. Now it's scary.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. As a mom, as a Spanish mom, as an American citizen, as somebody who's married immigrant, somebody that's immigrated here, what are some of your concerns and your fears about what's going on today with this current administration?
That Julio will be detained. And I was talking about this with a really close friend of mine, and her attitude was basically like, all right, well, if he gets detained, he just has to show his proof and that's it. And I'm like, you're not getting it. This is what a lot of people don't understand. You're going to show proof to who? There's no more due process. Do people understand what due process is? There's nowhere to go to court and say, hey, my husband's a citizen, or hey, he's a permanent resident. He has no record. He's never been arrested. He was part of the board of directors for his son's soccer club. Like, no. And I know they would take him, and God forbid, I rely on this man. I don't work. I can't work anymore ever since my transplant, which is another story. I have another son who has another illness that he got. My husband is our breadwinner. If I get emotional, if something were to happen to him even for 2 weeks, we couldn't survive, especially now with everything being so expensive. That's my fear. Every day, mind you, here in Connecticut, we have not seen anything about ICE. He has not lost any of his employees. Not that I'm saying they're illegal, but they're Latino. They haven't gotten stopped or anything. And nothing, thank God, here in Connecticut, there's been nothing. But I'm still so nervous, because what if you get a racist cop? Or whatever. Or even now on Long Island, they're basically said they're allowed to racially profile.
Yeah, they're able just to go.
I avoid going to Long Island now. I avoid going to New York. They've been having so many raids in Glen Cove lately. My mom tells me a lot of her aides, she has home health aides, and a lot of their friends have been taken away. And a lot of them had status to be here and have never committed a crime. So what? How does that put me at ease?
Yeah.
I didn't even go to my best friend's
I'm not saying this is true, but do you think fair? What if your husband had some criminal record, something stupid he did when he was young? I'm just saying, let's just say something happened. Can you imagine that if he ever got pulled over and they're like, hey, we got to make our quota, let's just throw him in the can anyway and find anything that sticks. Hey, look, he got a speeding ticket back in '86. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. And now the president has the ability to remove his status.
It could happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm not birthright. My mother was an American citizen before, and my dad from Puerto Rico. That's not, but I'm scared. I post shit against Trump all the time. How do I know that they're not going to come and get me? You know what I mean? You don't know. It's fear. It's a fear. And I never experienced this in my life. I've gone to El Salvador when the crime was so high before Bukele went in there and people were getting mugged and the gang members all over the place. I felt no fear. I've gone to Mexico
She's
all
like,
the
I
time.
lived in Queens, baby. She was like, I'm from Queens.
You know, I went to Mexico all the time. I never felt fear, but this is real. I didn't even go to my best friend's wedding last week.
Is it more of a fear that not that you're going to get jacked up, not that someone's going to steal your purse? Is it more fear like it's like you're not even a human fear?
It's
Like
a
getting
fear of not
treated,
even
right?
being seen as
That's what
human.
I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. You said due process. You know, what's her face didn't even know what freaking carpe diem is. The lady in,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, she's the one in charge, and she didn't know what that meant.
It's so. And another thing I've noticed too is people who are your friends, and they don't understand. They don't understand like how difficult it is for them because it doesn't affect them. And I give them grace, and I want to give my close friends grace for that because I know their life experiences are very different from mine. So I have to understand we have two different worlds, but at the same time, how do you not have a heart? How do you not realize like I cry for the people in Gaza, but then again I cry for, an ant crossing the street and getting hit by a car. That doesn't say much. But your friends that still support him, and what are they going to support me if my husband gets detained and I have no money? No income, they're not going to support me.
Yeah, and the prices aren't going down. I mean,
No.
as immigrants, we feel as children of immigrants, we feel like we're a target, and prices are going. So I'm just bringing up the main topics what people are talking about, so it doesn't sound like we're just bashing. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're promised a lot of stuff, so I want to be as coherent. Oh, they're just pissed off. They're just emotional. We know a lot of people. We know a lot of people, and I keep saying people's rights are being taken away, and people are like, what rights? Gay rights are being taken away.
But I am pissed off, and I am emotional.
It's hard not to be, though. That's the thing, though. It's like, how can you not be emotional? How can you not? It's scary. But other people, I guess it's lack of empathy. I don't know. It's like, listen, when Trump first won his first election, I sat back and I said, you know what? I don't consider myself like a super smart person when it comes to politics and anything. I said, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, my friends and other people who voted for him are seeing something that I don't see. And I really said, okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And it just, no. You couldn't. The stuff that would come out of his mouth. And I'm like, I'm not that smart of a person, but even to me, he sounds dumb. But anyway, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, making fun of a handicapped person, and then everybody's okay with it. Him saying, grab them by the pussy, and they're okay with it. Him talking nasty about his daughter and the girls on Howard Stern show, everybody's okay with it. Him testifying in his deposition saying that, yeah, everybody in Hollywood just can do whatever they want with girls, and everybody's okay with it. He got convicted for sexual assault, and everybody's okay with it. Oh yeah, by the way, his best friend is the biggest fucking pedophile of our lifetime, and everybody's okay with it. And they just say it's TDS. You just hate Trump. You do anything. How come you didn't say anything when it happened with Biden? Baby, tell him what happened. Go ahead. Why weren't we pissed with the Epstein files? Why weren't we people pissed off? Why couldn't we do anything with the Epstein files during the Biden presidency? They were still sealed.
Part of it was because they were still under seal because Ghislaine Maxwell's trial was going on, so they couldn't release the files.
Couldn't release the files. And then we had COVID, new president. Seeing a lot of stuff happen.
No. You know what I'd love to hear is like, oh, nobody talks about what, Biden's son did or this and that. And I'm like, listen, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my favorite political guy, and he's been so good. If I hear any inkling of his name related to any type of abuse towards a woman, even worse, a child, I'm not supporting them.
Yeah.
There's no reason for a man's name to even be associated in a situation like that.
If your name happens to be in that type of, as a man, if my name has to be in any association with, I have never blah 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 with this person, I have never touched blah 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 this person, you know what I'm saying? The fact that your name is in that conversation is just totally blows my mind away.
Like, would you be okay, like, with your, like, if you had a daughter and she's dating some guy who has like this baggage of being accused of stuff?
Oh my God.
Would you be okay with that? I don't think so.
Well, Trump says that Clinton's in the Epstein files 28 times. What files?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
What files? If they're in there 28 times, why aren't you putting that shit out there?
Exactly. Then put Clinton in jail where he should go if he's involved in it.
And you want to sit there? Well, Biden could have sent this out. Biden could have put it out.
Listen, I have never been a person that's a diehard fan of anybody, of an actor or singer. I don't put people
like and
who are rich and famous on a pedestal. I don't, you know? And to see when people have such passion, like, I don't even know if it's passion. I don't know.
It's a cult
obsession.
It's
like, no.
I think we're at a point right now where it's not even where it's like people double down so hard that they're not going to come out of it now. It's like
they can't admit that they are wrong.
Yeah, everything's going up. Everything's going up, and that people's right. We know people who are transitioning, and their rights are being taken away. And this is my problem, though. This is not my problem. This is an issue I have, where the other side says nobody's rights are being taken away. Bro, that's because you don't want trans people in this world. That's because you don't want gay marriage in this world. And that's because you don't want females to have equality or the right to choose over their own body in this world. That's why you guys keep saying nobody's rights are being taken away. They will cry for years. All we heard about Obama about, oh, come take my guns and see what happens. Nobody's going to take my guns. But they got no problem with
taking away my daughter's reproductive rights.
Yeah, like, thank you.
Seriously. Exactly. I'm very passionate about is reproductive rights. I worked at Planned Parenthood that's like one of my favorite jobs I ever had. I was so proud. I'm so proud to say that I worked at Planned Parenthood. Like, it's awesome. So big shout out to them. But I can't imagine. I remember when Bush was president, and we could not say certain words at the health center when counseling our patients about STDs and birth control. We were not allowed to say certain words, and even with
Cindy, please stop saying dick pimples to the patients.
And also too, and pregnancy testing. We were not allowed to say termination. It was really hard. It was really hard. So can you imagine how it's going to be now with this freaking lunatic? That reproductive rights, who has the right to decide that? How does he have the right to decide that?
I didn't decide. I gave it back to the states. That's what they wanted. The states wanted it. Fucking liar. You gave it to me. You took it away.
I remember, like, anytime my mom, like, growing up, or even now when she, like, gets upset because of someone else's situation, I always say to her in Spanish, "Pero qué te importa?" Yeah. You know, why is it so, what do you care? So again, these people, if you're not gay, if you don't have a trans child, if you're not trans, if you're not on birth control, what the fuck do you care what other people are doing?
Yeah.
If I'm okay, like, listen, I will post shit about Trump on my Facebook, on my Instagram. I would appreciate it if people don't comment if you're against it, because if you post something for Trump, I won't comment. I will respect and I will not comment because we're friends, and I won't say anything. So luckily, I've been very fortunate with that. I remember growing up, and I spent a lot of time at my best friend's house growing up. Um, my house was not. It was there was a lot of argument. It was not a good home. Anyway, so I spent all my time at her house, and never once did I ever hear politics spoken about. They never spoke politics. My parents never spoke politics. Really, nobody spoke politics. I never heard adults talking about it. And I love that. And, me and my best friend, we have the years, whatever, and we have our lives have brought us to different political views, our life experiences. And we don't discuss it. We do not discuss politics. It's off the table. Like you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. But I'm struggling with that because it's not just politics anymore. And that's why I think everybody's talking about it now. It's different now because people are actually getting hurt.
It's values.
People are getting
Where do your
hurt.
values lie?
Values, I get it. Everybody's values are so different, and someone can say this, but people are actually.
But no, there's just
hurt.
there's common decency values to treat another human being. And I feel if you support Trump, you support
his hate,
his rhetoric, the division that he tries to instill in his party. Need to be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen.
Yeah. So
and this is funny because my best friend, I don't consider her MAGA. It's weird.
But I do think there's a difference between Republican and MAGA.
Yes. MAGA are the ones that repeat exactly what Trump says the day Trump says it. Right. All of a sudden, everybody's repeating word for word what he said. Like they came up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Conservative is conservative. Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, yeah, I don't, and again, when I post stuff, and I always think in the back of my mind, because I refer to them as maggots, I wonder, she sees it. I wonder what she's thinking. Her husband also is a Trump supporter, obviously, because I don't see how.
But let me add, you said earlier, see, there's a thing, though. You said earlier, prior to this, when did your, I don't know, let me say, when did your awakeness of how Trump is handling stuff, or when did you become awakened? Like, when did you become woke? When did you, it's another thing, DEI. Duh, DEI is the devil. You see what I'm saying? They just do nothing but demonize us.
I think the final straw for me was the, oh gosh, I don't think it was the ice. Why can't I think right now, George? I don't know why. It wasn't ice.
And we were bullshitting for 4 hours.
I know. It was something else. What was it? I'm going to have to get back to you on that one.
But it was recent. Right?
Oh, no, it was recent. I just had I think the Epstein thing really got me because to me, that's just like the biggest thing. Like it's so obvious,
And that's what's making me crazy.
Yes, and then because I remember having an argument with one of these old moms from the town I lived in, and she said something like, about, they were talking about ICE and whatever, and I posted something where it's, this is horrible, whatever, and she made a comment. Oh, she mentioned one guy who was like a murderer or something, just one immigrant, and she's like, "What about this guy?" And I'm like, you're talking about one guy as opposed to a whole group of people.
A whole race.
Race. Like, do you realize? So that's like, okay, you're white and I think you're trashy. So therefore, all white people are white trashy.
Yeah, I know people that live in the trailer park. That means all white people are trailer park trash.
Yeah, no, like, why is it okay for them to clump? Or another thing, like I loved, like.
Can you stop for a second? That's why I was harsh on that dude for exactly what you're saying. I am pushing back. I am tired of their rhetoric. I am tired of them
They've turned us
demonizing.
into this. They
Yes.
have turned us in. Mike, I never thought I would dislike our country. I mean, this is the only country I know. This is my home.
Sad.
I go on vacation. I can't wait to come home. You know, I loved Glen Cove. I loved driving on Glen Cove Road right before you get into town. You know, I remember that growing up when we'd come home from our vacations. And I loved it. But now I don't. And my country made me feel like this. My neighbors made me feel like this.
Yeah.
I'm not me. I never got involved with politics before, like whatever. I never bothered me. But now, no, you can't. Come on, we're not all rapists. Like, why? Why?
Yeah.
I read a book recently. Oh gosh, what was it called? You Sound Like a White Girl. That, George, that's a really good book. And what she says, there has been so much stuff going on against Latinos, especially Mexicans, and especially in Texas. Like, there's been so much Mexican history that they've been involved with our country in positive ways, and it's all been deleted. Like, you can't even find it on computers or anything. It's all like shit that's handwritten down.
Nice.
So much that they've erased, as he's doing again right now.
Yeah. The Trumpsonian.
Exactly. And, you know, I heard they're going to, I don't know if it's true, but I heard they're going door to door now.
It's Handmaid's Tale, I tell you.
It is. It's, I feel like.
Under his eye.
Yeah.
Under his eye. It started in DC in the movie, too.
Yep. Blessed be the fruit. That's what we're saying, you know? But I don't understand it. I don't understand how people I know who are the nicest people I've ever met, who have always been so loving and kind to me, to my children, to my husband, supporting this man. It's like an oxymoron. It doesn't fit. Even my best friend, she is the most generous, kind-hearted, amazing human on this planet. So how can she be for someone who has so much? He's just hatred. It doesn't make sense. What am I not seeing? Sometimes I wonder.
Apparently, the same stuff we're not seeing.
Oh, you called it. It's that hatred. They either hate gays or they hate immigrants. That's it. That's basically what it is.
They have to hate somebody.
That's all it is. Gays are getting rights. Fuck their rights. Immigrants. What immigrant do you know is getting fucking financial aid?
None that I know.
Thank you.
Can I tell you something? I keep hearing all the time about, immigrants are getting Social Security. Immigrants are getting these benefits. They're not.
Thank you.
They're not. They can't. And like it's a fact. You know who does? You want to hear something though? I'm sorry to interrupt you. You know what I hear? It's funny is that I'm half Puerto Rican, you know, and a lot of my Puerto Rican side of the family lives off the government. But they're not immigrants.
Oh.
And they voted for Trump. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like either, and I don't have the balls to ask my best friend why.
Because they're not getting any of it. Why should the government give gay people money when I'm not gay? I'm not getting part of it. Why should I care? Why should I care that Cindy needs medical help when I'm not sick? Why should I care that Georgia's stocks are fucked up because the president is messing around with tariffs? Why should I because I don't have stocks?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've never said I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal. I've never said that. I always said I follow what I follow. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should be treated fairly. How we figure out where the money comes from, okay, that's a problem. That's when we all work together to figure it out.
I would not have a problem voting Republican if I felt the guy running was aligned with my views, even though I'm registered as a Democrat. You know, I'm going to go with whoever I think is best for this country and who's going to best represent this country. Yeah. But what representation do we have?
Yeah, to me, it just started. The racism I clearly saw on Facebook, like people didn't even care, was during the riots for Black Lives Matter. I just saw, like you said, people just like we were auditioning a drummer at the time. Gloria knows this, and my guitar player is black. He don't know he's black, but he's black. And I love you, Eddie. And he thinks he's white Irish, and my man's darker than midnight. But anyway, so we were jamming, we're auditioning with this drummer, and these were during the riots, right? So we jammed with Eddie, whatever, and Eddie left, and we're breaking down, and the drummer literally said to me, "Can you believe what's going on with these savages, these monkeys, and blah 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 blah?" I'm like, bro, what? First of all, do you know that Eddie's? I know Eddie doesn't know, but do you know that Eddie's black? And you know what I'm saying? And he was just like, "Yeah, but Eddie's cool. But Eddie's cool."
Oh, I love that. My husband got that. We were at a party, and a friend of ours, they were talking about immigrants. And this was before, I think, Biden was president. It was the year my son graduated high school, so Biden was president. And they were talking about, immigrants and blah, blah, blah. And there was something saying negative stuff about immigrants. And then he turned around and looked at my husband. He goes, "Oh, but Julio, you're one of the good ones."
Oh, yes. That's the worst thing you can say, man.
What?
That's the worst thing you can say to somebody from another race.
You're one of the good ones.
Yeah, you're one of the good ones. Meaning that there's more bad than good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, oh, you don't care about that girl that got raped? What about the fucking 5 American girls that got raped by 5 American guys?
Yeah. I felt like saying to that guy, the guy who said that to my husband, I was like, "Oh, you're an FBI agent. Yeah, you're fucking dumb. You're one of them."
You're one of them.
Yeah, you're one of them. And that's what's scary. Is that first of all, I have this new opinion that just trashy, uneducated people get jobs as cops. I've realized that. It's very rare that you have someone who is an educated cop.
It's rare. It's rare.
It's the majority of them, half of them, like they would be nothing if they weren't a cop. And a lot of them give the other ones a bad name. Yeah. We have so many friends from Long Island one guy was on the SWAT team, another guy.
Oh, I knew a lot of asshole cops. Louis Torre, I know a lot of people that my next door neighbor in Glen Cove, their son was a cop.
That's so funny. Yeah, he was a nice guy, so I hope he's resting. At least he's not dealing with this bullshit now.
You're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. Cindy, Gloria, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say to the people out there?
Fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump. We'll leave it at that.
You know what I'm going to say? Be kind. Think about what other people are going through, guys. Like, just think about someone else for a change and not just yourself. That's all. And thank you for having me.
Like and subscribe. Say like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, yes. I'm going to share it on my Facebook, too. Send me how do I do that.
Like button.
Yes. Absolutely.
I have my granddaughters doing that.
Oh, really?
I had them going nuts. They were like,
oh, they love hanging out with him and doing videos.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you ever interview them?
You got a YouTube channel? Like busting my balls. They're like, Pop, do you say like and subscribe? And the other one's like, Pop's got over 2,000 viewers. Oh.
That's what my son said when I showed him. I told him, I was like, "Oh, my friend George asked me," and I showed him, and he's like, "Oh, that's good. He's got 2,000." Oh, he's like, "Okay." So they were impressed.
I'm growing. I'm drinking milk.
That's good. Yeah, that's what I did growing up, and now I'm a strong, healthy girl.
There you go.
I did too. Gringa, white glass of milk for dinner.
That's right.
Watch the 757 Hustle Show. I want to thank Cindy for being here. Also, I want to thank Gloria for being here. First time. Both you ladies.
Yay.
Both you ladies. First
I like my husband.
Hopefully it won't be last.
Hopefully not. I have
pew,
pew, pew, pew. Awesome. Everybody wave bye.
Bye.